Greetings, Internet, and welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. This is like an introduction to, let me get the name out. Okay. Airborne to Victory, Operation Market Garden by GMT Games from back in I think it's 1990. Now, I mentioned this a few times in my channel updates. What? You haven't watched those? Go watch those. I'm doing this because it's coming up to the 80th anniversary, and I hope to release these videos on the day that they occur. So game turn 1, which is on September the 17th, I hope to release on September the 17th. I believe there's 2 turns per day, so I'm going to try and do 2 videos. I'm going to do 1 turn as 1 video. That's what makes sense. But I'm recording these beforehand, or some of them beforehand, and working my way through. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Now, this is an operational game, so we're looking at each counter representing a battalion. Map scale. Okay, scale is approximately 1 mile per hex. There are 2 types of playing pieces, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, sort of little battalion. Yeah. Yeah, battalion scale. Unit size. Oh, is that a company? One line is a company, isn't it? I think. Well, there is a scale. Yeah. Unit size. Yeah, they don't really define it in here. I must have found the rules a little bit. I found the charts and tables a little bit. And I also find the map a little bit. But I played the introductory scenario twice to get the feel for the game. And actually, it plays quite interestingly. So this is back in early GMT games days. So I think it probably needs a reboot. Graphically, the Vassal module, I had to find, it was a search to find it, but find it I did. I've had to add a few little things and tweaks to it, but it seems to work. So yeah, let's go down to the map. And as I say, I'm not going to start the play today. I'm just introducing it to you. But let's go to the map and have a look at what is going on. This is the vessel module. Yeah, it's again, it's not great, but it's functional. It has the pieces, it has what they need to do, and it's infinitely playable. So we're starting over here. This is 30th Corps, the British, all ready to go. The Germans are all, yeah, everything's set up, ready to go. The Americans I had a bit of leeway with. In fact, all of the Allies I had leeway with. And I'll go through why I've set them up this certain way. But so we'll start with the Guards Armoured over there. Then we have the 101st Airborne Division in and around Eindhoven and Zon. And then we move along. We have the 82nd Airborne in and around Nijmegen. And whatever this place is called, Grave, is it? Yeah. And then we have the British 1st Airborne Division in and around Arnhem, with the SS lurking to ruin their day. So there's the game turn marker. Yeah, it looks like there are 2 turns per day, a morning and an afternoon. So I will be trying to do 2 videos per day, releasing them, 1 in the morning and guess what? 1 in the afternoon. But they are going to be pre-recorded. So, as I'm recording this, this is actually September the 12th. So there we go. I'm 5 days before the actual event, and over the weekend I'll be shooting as many of these as I can, ready for the event. But again, I'll release them as we go and see if we actually get through the whole campaign. This will be my first playing of the campaign, so don't expect actual brilliance of play. And if there's any of you out there that are going to watch this and have played this game before, I do apologize if I make too many faux pas. Okay, so what is the objective? What's the victory conditions? Let's have a look for the campaign game. Victory is determined at the end of game turn 22, so I presume that's the 27th. There are several levels of victory, all determined by the number and location of Allied units at the end of the game. They are as follows. Overwhelming Allied victory. Allies have 20 plus steps, so each of these units has 2 steps, of unfatigued units northeast of the Rhine River. So in other words, northeast over here. Unfatigued units northeast of the Rhine River. Well, they already start with quite a few here already. So obviously the Germans have got to do something about them. And as we know, they will try to do something. Substantial Allied victory. Allies have 10 to 19 steps of unfatigued units northeast of the Rhine River. Okay, and then marginal 5 to 9 steps. Okay, so yeah, that's pressing on the Germans really to do something about it. The key word there is unfatigued. I should imagine these units will get tired and exhausted as things go on. Substantial German victory. Allies have only 1 to 4 steps of unfatigued units north of the Rhine River, and overwhelming German victory, there are none. So it seems like, all right, the onus is on the Allies to get up the road, the highway to hell. Yeah, should place a bit of AC/DC at that point then, shouldn't I? But the onus is on the Allies to get as many units as they can across, but the onus is also on the Germans to destroy and at least fatigue the 1st Airborne Division, which is already across the Rhine River. Okay. So let's have a look at why I set up what... I mean, the Germans are set up as according to the chart. The Allies do have a little bit more, what's the best word? Flexibility. It says for the Allies, they've got to be in X hexes of such a place, whereas the Germans have got to be within or in a particular hex. So for the Guards Armour Division, okay, they had to be within, behind this canal, or those 3 hexes there, which is a bridgehead. The stacking limit for each hex is 8. Now, I will be explaining rules as I go through. So there you go. You've had your stacking limit. It's 8. And on these counters, so let's do a little zoom in. Right. On these counters, there's quite a lot of numbers. The bottom row are your standard attack, defense, and your movement. The number in the top left-hand corner of the counter is its stacking value. So remember that I've just said the stacking limit is 8. So that's 3, that's 3, and that's 1. So there's only 7 in there. And this number here on the top right of the counter is its efficiency. The higher, the better. Okay, and that's used for determining combat modifiers and such forth. But again, I'll go into a bit of detail. I'm not going to go into the rules verbatim. I want to keep these videos relatively short. But obviously when it's important, I'll explain. And stacking values and such forth is of course important. Artillery have an additional number on it. So that's an artillery unit. And it's got that little 5 there is its range. Okay. So yeah, we in this exercise, so the standard symbols: armored, motorized infantry, motorized anti-tank, got by the little 2 dots underneath. There we go. So yeah, I'm focusing the British to try to get to now in the introductory scenario. You are tasked with to win, and I did win it, is to get to eliminate 10 steps of German units and to get beyond Welkensford in the 1st turn. I did achieve that, but in the 2nd of my playthroughs, but it was close. Then we got the one of 1st Airborne. I was allowed to set up all of their units within 5 hexes of that drop zone. That was placed in a specific hex. So all their units had to be within 5 hexes of that in clear or mixed. So this brownish hue hex here is actually a mixed. There's not much clear. Looking also at the map, so these are rivers or canals, obviously towns, woods. This little symbol means it's a blowable bridge. So the Germans can blow the bridge if they get there. So I've set up the 101st Airborne with the objective of trying to take Eindhoven, occupy Zon, and move towards taking that unit out, and if possible, getting into Miguel, securing that bridge, the main highway bridge. So that's the 101 Airborne. Then moving further down, we have the 82nd. Okay, I could zoom out, but I don't want to. Okay, again, 5 hex, the drop zone was specified within 5 hexes of that, again, mixed or clear terrain. There you go. There's a clear hex or 2 clear hexes. So I'm not sure where the German reinforcements are coming up. I'm not going to check. I'm just going to let that part flow when it comes up. I'll because the Allies wouldn't know exactly where the German reinforcements are coming, and the Germans wouldn't know exactly where the Allied reinforcements are coming. So I'm going to let myself be a little bit surprised. I'm not looking that much detailed into the OBs of both sides and what's coming on where. Give myself a little bit of excitement. Well, it's going to be exciting anyway, but you know what I mean. A little bit of a surprise. So I'm putting that unit down there to guard that road. These 2 units I want to hopefully take out this unit, or at least keep him out of the action, and then take over the Nijmegen Bridge over here, and keep it secure. And these 2 units, yes, they're not within 5 hexes. In fact, these 3 units aren't within 5 hexes, but there was it allowed me to set up 3 of the airborne units. Yeah, you've got the 2 little dashes, so they are battalions in between these 2 rivers, which I've done. There we go. And then finally, the 101 Airborne, 101, sorry, the 1st British Airborne had to be within 3 hexes of their drop zone. Again, the drop zone was specified. And again, mixed or clear. So a fair bit of clear around here, but also a lot of woods. So within 3, I'm going to have them march down to at least try and get this bridge. But obviously, they're not going to be able to take these guys on because those are quite powerful. Well, that one isn't, but that one definitely is. So, yeah, we'll have to see. There's a ferry crossing point here. I need to check, can they cross that ferry? Get some airborne on this side, maybe? It's a possibility. They'll need to take that unit out as well. And also, they're going to have to protect their drop zone. So, a lot for the 1st Airborne to do. So, that's the setup. Let me just zoom back out. Okay. Now, overall, when looking at it, it's not too bad, is it? It's definitely play. Oh, yeah, down here. The Allies have got 25 air points. In the original game, all the charts and tables are on the map, which is a pain in the boot. But again, looking on the internet, I found different, again, Board Game Geek and also Concept World allow me to find the charts and tables in a printable format, and also set up organizational charts, which weren't in the original game. And I'll show those in a minute. But that's the map, that's the victory condition, and that's what we're going to be working towards. So let's come back to me and we'll continue this. Yes, who's back? Okay, so yeah, so from the internet, managed to download some charts and tables. Yay! Because being on the map, not a good idea. I mean, it's all right to have them on the map as well, but not as the only place. And I managed to get these off the internet as well. Some guy has put a lot of effort into this. I didn't take his name. Maybe I should have done. Because he's done the German setup and reinforcement. Again, I haven't looked at any detail beyond the at-start forces. I just don't want to. Obviously, I'm playing this opposed to get somebody, then I'd be scrutinizing these with thinking microscope, but I'm not. So I want to keep that little bit of suspense. I know that the Germans will be coming on from either side to try to close the road and so forth. I know British 30th 30 Corps will have additional units coming up the road, but I don't know exactly when. And I don't know exactly when they get the reinforcements on here. Now, obviously, the British commander would, and the German commander would know what their stuff is. But me as a player, I just want to keep that a little bit of a surprise to myself. I did do a copy of the terrain from the actual map, so I know what actually is what is which. But okay, and yeah, now I'll just briefly show the original map. Not all of it, but so here we go. Here's the map. Well, I should have prepared earlier, shouldn't I? So yeah. So it's not great, but it does the campaign. But this is what, having the combat results over here, doesn't help the situation. However, as I say, the main thing about a game to me is not the graphics. I mean, it's nice to have nice graphics. It's nice to have nice charts and tables. But A, is it fun to play? And B, does it represent the campaign or what it's trying to represent well? I know there's always this continued discussion about playability versus simulation. I suppose I like them both. I like the game to be fun, because if it's not fun, I ain't going to play it. And if it's not a decent simulation, I ain't going to play it either. If it tries to represent, so if you've watched my videos on Panzerblitz, if you haven't, go and do so. Panzerblitz is not the greatest simulation of what it's trying to represent, but it's reasonable enough that I can see what's going on. And from the fun side, yeah, it's fun. ASL, actually, simulation. I've always got a problem with ASL's command control rules and such forth. Is it fun? Yes, until you've got 7 pages of rules on just railway embankments. I'm looking at you, Festival Budapest, which actually sort of broke me on the ASL side. But yeah, there's so many rules that it stops being fun at the time. And then you have the strange rules like skulking and vehicle bypass and so forth. Freeze. Yeah, but I'd still play it every now and again. This, as I say, looks, but what I played from the introductory scenario, I enjoyed. It seemed to work. It seemed to represent what I should imagine would have happened. How that will go for the rest of the simulation, I don't know until I play it. So obviously at the end, or by the time I get to a point where I'm going, nah, not really enjoying this or whatever, I'll stop. But from what I've read, it seems to have quite good reviews on it. People seem to have liked it. People seem to have the same issues I have with it. It's not the greatest thing to look at, but does it play well? Is it fun? And does it represent what it's trying to represent? And that I can only determine by playing it, which I tend to do, as you now know. This actual copy was a gift from a Mark Ruggiero from America. He posted this. We had a little brief discussion. I said I wanted to get a game on Operation Market Garden because we're coming up to the 80th anniversary, and he kindly offered this to me, and I thought that was very nice of him. And he posted it all the way from America to good old Blighty. That was back in the beginning of this year. I did have a look at it then, and I thought, yes, this is ideal for what I want to do now. And that's it. That's my introduction. So if you could do all the YouTube, I was about to say bullshit, but the YouTube stuff, the like, subscribe, and comment, it'll be much appreciated. It all helps the channel. But remember, play games, have fun. Until next time, which should be, hopefully, with this particular video, September the 17th in the morning, by internet.